Based on your overwhelming reaction on my first episode on podcasting, I decided to make this episode to help streamline and actually give you an idea for all solo casters out there and hopefully help you out a long way. So, if you're interested, come, let's hop onto this train and let's go. Hey folks, welcome back to Podmentorspace podcast. And in this episode, we are going to talk about solo podcasting tips that can help streamline your work and probably help you take your solo casting career to a next level. And before we actually get into the meat and bones of this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on Spotify, you know what to do. Always give us a follow. And if you're looking for a particular solution to your problem, you can choose from the timeline so that at least I can save you enough time. So let's get on with it. So first one, of course, is you got to plan out your abstract goals. So you might be wondering, why abstract goals? Well, simply put, creating an actual plan for people, I don't know if you agree with me, but creating an actual plan when it comes to life in general, some people don't follow through with plans. So it's very hard for them to have that consistency. Hence, as an artist, as a personal abstract artist myself, I came up with this concept that it's better to have all your abstract thoughts on pen, paper, wherever you put your thoughts, and then put it all together. And then from there, work out which one do you think is best. And this actually applies in podcasting as well. So if you're looking for a particular niche, or you're looking for a general niche for that matter, and when it comes to sticking to writing down what you really are truly passionate, which is most of the time it's not really your choice, but then you want to choose other options, it's best to put all the 5 topics, 10 topics that you can think of that doesn't have to revolve around the one niche that you are uh, passionate about. So this gives you an opportunity and a leverage to, in case something happens, at least you know you have a backup. And that's the main basis of having abstract goals, putting it all. It's just like this painting behind me. You got to put it all in the canvas and see what sticks. And that's how you win in creating an abstract goal. So now let's move on to tip number 2. Research AI tools that can help streamline your workflow. So we are in the age of interesting things that has been going on, and I do not know if you agree with me, but we have come to a point where life is really interesting when it comes to AI tools. And I'm sure you agree with me that you're all overwhelmed with all these AI tools that's happening, popping left and right. In terms of you as a creator, as a podcaster yourself, you need to do your due diligence in choosing the right tool that can help streamline your content. Because you can, if you think about it, AI is a tool that can help you get from point A to point B. I am not recommending any AI tools because probably what I use may not be suitable for you. But if there are stuff that you want me to suggest, then probably let's have that conversation on social media. We'll have that conversation. So, but for now, I guess the best ones that I can say is look for an AI tool that can help streamline. It doesn't matter if it's clipping, editing, your scripting. If you know the tools, then go for it. All all is it's all yours. So tip number 3 is that start with what you have. Listen, this is probably the most generic advice that you'd get, but it is actually one of the truest advice. Because one is, if you think as a solo caster that you would start off perfect and end up perfect, you are setting yourself 50 steps behind the podcaster who's already dominating in your niche. And that goes the same way. If you think you want the best camera, you want the best gear and all that stuff, don't. uh, how can I simply put it in a much diplomatic way? You just don't overthink it. Start with what you have. If you have a smartphone, go for it. If you have an Android, an Apple, whatever phone it is, go for it. If you don't have a mic, use um, look at alternative investments that your budget can fit. If you're a working professional and you have a little bit of spare change, put in some investments down the line, and then over time your show will evolve, because as you create more, you'll understand, you know, the stuff that you're doing, and it will help you in the long term. But the best advice that I could give you right now, I'm looking at my notes, is start with what you have. So this one is inspired, this fourth point is inspired by Prince. If you don't know who Prince is an amazing musician, talented musician, and I'm sure some of you know about his vault. And I was watching a recent documentary on that, and he has the one of the people who's working with Prince. They came and they were talking about Prince's vault mentality. So this mentality can also be applied to podcasting alone, as well. Sorry, not alone, as well. So in terms of this, think podcasting and vault mentality. How? What do I mean, Rajiv? So the simple way of thinking about it is create and constantly create. The same way Prince made thousands and thousands of records in his lifetime, that should be your goal, to create and see what works, see what sticks out, and just keep producing that. And when you start to understand, okay, something doesn't work, something doesn't, at least you have a data bank of the topics that you are passionate about that can somehow engage and create some form of engagement to a community. You're set. And having this vault mentality doesn't mean that just because you have, let's say, 100 episodes that is stored, you don't need to publish everything. Just look at it in such a way that these published works of arts or body of work can help you look at how you podcast subjectively, and then take it off from there. And that's how you can actually win as a solo caster. So yeah, have that vault mentality, have that ability to have quantity, and probably some people will say quality over quantity. The point that I'm trying to say here is, the reason why I'm promoting quantity over quality here is to have the idea of collecting so many ideas in one take, and then see what sticks and look at it subjectively before putting it out as a podcaster. So vault mentality, guys, have this. And fifth one, it goes without saying, you gotta lower your expectation. This actually applies to my third point, and you gotta. I guess it's a reasonable point, because some people believe that once you have a podcast, you're already on top of the world, which is clearly the opposite, because you don't want to be on top of the world. And in the first place, because if you think that way, you already set that expectation so high for yourself. uh, you know you'll already feel left out if your expectation is so high but your results are this low. Think about it like dating. If you set your standard so high, let's say you like a boy, you like a girl, and then you have this expectation of this girl or this guy has to be, all that 5'10", blue eyes, all that stuff. But then the quality of how you live is below that expectation. So how do you expect, the same thing for your podcast? So you have to lower your expectation. I guess I'll just put a word in there that says that you gotta lower your expectation temporarily and gradually develop and grow over time. So yeah, that is one advice that I could give, and part of the tip that I could give that can helpfully streamline your solo casting, probably I'll be updating this episode if I get more ideas, because I do believe that I left a lot on the table. But these are the five things that are on my mind at the moment of recording this episode. But aside from that, I guess I'm sure you'll have questions or probably dislike some of my stories once this comes out. So, um, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If there's anything that you want to know more, I'll be leaving a question in the comment section. And till then, I will see you guys in the next episode.